Hi, this is Dave Muir with Skyway Software, and this is part one of a two-part video series on using MyEclipse for Spring to scaffold applications for Google App Engine. Now, this is an early access feature that is available in MyEclipse for Spring version 8.6.1. So in part one, I'll create a MyEclipse web project. We'll add 3 simple POJOs and then add the Google tooling. And then we'll generate the rest of the application using the MyEclipse for Spring scaffolding feature. Now, this feature tailors and optimizes the generated code and configurations so the application is ready to go on GAE. And at the end of part one, we'll have a ready to run Google App Engine, Spring MVC, Google Web Toolkit, Adobe Flex, and iPhone application that supports all the create, read, update, and delete operations for the POJOs created earlier. In the second video of this series, part 2 will demonstrate deploying and running this application on the Google Cloud. Switching over to MyEclipse for Spring, you'll notice I'm in the MyEclipse IDE. Now, as of 8.6.1, we have the plugins available to install into SDS version 2.3 or 2.5. So to get started, I'm just going to create a new web project. This is a project specific to MyEclipse, and just call it GAE app and go ahead and click finish. I'll then create my POJOs, and I'm going to do that rather quickly. I'll create a package, com.acme.domain. And I'm just going to paste in 3 simple POJOs that we can take a look at now. There's an address with some fields, a company Java class, and an employee Java class. The next thing I want to do, since this is a web project, I'm going to go ahead and add the Google tooling. So I'll right click the project, choose Google, and go to Web Toolkit settings. I'll choose to use Google Web Toolkit, then I'll go to the web application preference, specify my award directory, which is the web root, and then I want to also deploy this to Google App Engine, so I'm going to use Google App Engine, and I'll specify my application ID version later. I'll go ahead and click OK. Now that goes ahead and bootstraps my projects for Google App Engine and Google Web Toolkit. You might have some errors, but those will be resolved after we scaffold. So what I'll do now is go ahead and right click the project again, choose MyEclipse, and go to Scaffold Spring Card Application. A wizard will pop up, and in this case I'm going to choose Java Beans. I can choose JPA entities, or I can grab tables as well. But I'll choose Java Beans, choose my 3 POJOs, add them all, and then I'm going to select them all for scaffolding. I then need to choose the primary key, and if I had a JPA entity or a table, this pane wouldn't show. It already knows my packages. I can definitely change them if I wanted to. And then I'll go ahead and choose Spring MVC, Adobe Flex, GWT, and iPhone. Once I click Next, I'm presented with some Flex options, but at this point I'll go ahead and just select all the defaults. I do want to point out that the MyEclipse for Spring scaffolding does optimize and tailor for this project. It knows that it has the Google App Engine nature, so it adds the data nucleus persistence provider, and then it also tailors the libraries that are needed for this project and to deploy on the Google App Engine. So at the summary pane, I'll go ahead and click finish. Once scaffolding completes, you may run into a data nucleus enhancer error. And this is an issue in the Google plugins version 1.3. There's a bug out about it and said it's fixed in 1.4, but all you need to do to work around is go ahead and go in here, mark these dirty, and then save each POJO. That'll run the enhancer again, and you should be set to go. Now, taking a quick step back, if this is the first time you've seen MyEclipse for Spring scaffolding feature, I would encourage you to look at the many videos and tutorials we have published, which go into much deeper than what I can show in this video. However, in a nutshell, we just went from 3 simple POJOs to Spring MVC, Adobe Flex, GWT, and iPhone application that's ready to run on the Google App Engine. I'm going to show it running in part 2 of this video series. So please take a look at the next video to see me deploy and run this project on the Google Cloud.